Mob Psycho 100 slaps. Oh, you don't know what Mob Psycho 100 is? Mob Psycho 100 was a manga series that came out in 2012, created by the same guy who made One Punch Man. It later got adapted by Studio Bones, the same studio who animated My Hero Academia, Soul Eater, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Its first season aired in 2016, second in 2019, and the third and final season was just this fall 2022. It follows the story of this boy with a bowl cut, Shigeo Kageyama, also known as Mob, a middle school student with extraordinary psychic abilities who is desperately trying to suppress his powers and live a normal life. But of course, like in every classic shonen fashion, things didn't always go as planned, so he gets constantly pulled into conflicts with other psychics who use their abilities for their own gain. Now that you have a pretty good idea of what it is, let me tell you how I came across this anime. I first heard about this show like way back in 2019 when I was really into One Punch Man. And since I was craving for some more Saitama action at that time and I couldn't really wait till I have a grandson before the third season drop, thanks fucking god, 16-year-old me just assumed that since Mob Psycho 100 and One Punch Man have the same author, then that must mean the characters are also the same, right? Like, Mob will one-shot his enemies, or I don't know, something else similar to that. I mean, look at that. They literally have the same face. So when I started watching it, I realized, yeah, this is totally a different series. And then after that, I just got bored pretty quickly and ended up just dropping it. And eventually forgot about it. Fast forward to 2 years later, now I'm an adult, I have hair in my ass and I'm constantly battling with my inner demons. I thought to myself, you know what? Let's give Mob Psycho another try after this. Since at that time I was also on my rewatching One Punch Man session, and when I did finally gave it a try and watch all of it, boy was I wrong. This show fucking slaps. It's honestly one of the best anime I've ever seen. Everything about it felt perfect. Like, I couldn't believe how all this masterpiece went over my head the first time I watched it. The story tackles a lot about personal growth and the struggle to find one's place in the world. And even though the art style is a bit goofy looking, the animation quality is top-notch. I was honestly surprised by how good it was. Not gonna lie, back then, I'm not really a huge fan of its, distinctive art style. I don't know, it just felt weird to look at back then because I'm used to watching anime that look like this, not whatever this is. But now that I gave it a second try, and now with a fresh mindset and no expectations, I was greeted by its amazing animation, its masterful writing, and even the music. Just listen to this. Did you hear that? A fucking kazoo is used in there. In what universe can a kazoo sound this threatening? Like, imagine being alone in a forest and you hear this music from the distance and it gradually gets closer to you minute by minute. I would seriously piss my pants if I were put in that situation. And of course, I wouldn't forget about the openings too. Man, are they a banger. If your kindergarten teacher taught you how to sing the alphabet, you can let Mob Psycho 100 openings teach you how to count. Okay, I maybe am exaggerating the most basic things that you could like about this anime, but man, this anime has no right to be this hard. Listen, I'm in no way a qualified anime reviewer or anime analysis critic or whatever you call them. There are far better videos on this platform that could tell you how great of a show this is. I don't even know the ins and outs of what makes an anime great. Hell, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. This is literally my first video on this channel. I'm probably gonna look back at this 6 months from now and going to hate it. Anyways, I'm getting off track now. I'm pretty sure most of you who are watching this video have seen or grown up watching anime or any other form of media in some way. If yes, then I'm pretty sure you've also tried the classic imitating or straight up copying the personalities of your favorite characters from the shows or movies you like. I mean, let's face it, it is impossible to not do that if you're a dumb middle schooler with no race, no personality, and you just came across watching anime and you saw some anime protagonist get a bajillion pussies while just being that mysterious guy at school. My god, the temptation to do that. When I was watching my first anime in 8th grade, which was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I became a huge fan of this character in the show named Greed. If you don't know who that guy is, he's a guy with some kind of multiple personality disorder. I don't know, I'm not sure. It's been 5 years since I've watched that anime. But basically, his whole deal is he has two personality and he's cool as fuck. And I thought copying that guy was a good idea. I would message random girls on Facebook, and if someone did respond, God bless their soul. I would at first talk to them normally, and then throughout that conversation, my alter ego would occasionally pop up and say some of the cringiest shit ever. Oh God, just kill me already. Now, I'm not trying to say that you should not copy your favorite fictional character personality, but I kinda am too. I mean, you don't have to go all out and straight up act like a Sigma Alpha Male Blade Runner 24/7 Barbie Robert Pattinson Joker or whoever else is mainstream right now. Ryan Gosling is literally me, by the way. My personal advice is, just take a little piece of it and see if it works for you.
Something's in my ass.
Like with most characters, they are often created by writers to convey a message or to illustrate a point. And the characters from Mob Psycho 100 are no doubt one of those. Back when I was just trying to piece myself together and was trying to understand myself more, this anime came, and watching Mob grow as the season progressed was just so inspiring. I may not have a godly psychic power like Mob, but I can always relate to him as a human. Even having all that godly power, he still has to deal with human stuff. He still struggles mentally and physically. Like bro is struggling with Riz. What's more relatable than that? And seeing Mob having to deal with all that just hit too close to home. And what I really admire about him the most is his kindness and his unwavering desire for change. He is always chasing after it. He always challenges himself to become better. He doesn't rely on his power all the time, but instead chose other areas of himself to nurture. And that to me was inspiring. He made me realize that, oh, wait a minute, that's the kind of person I want to be. And of course, it's not just Mob that's written beautifully in this series. There's also Reigen, his master, arguably the best sensei in shonen history. They should call him Rizgen Arataka. That guy for sure could be the CEO of Riz if it has one. And he also has his great spirit friend Dimple. And of course, the Body Improvement Club. God, I love those guys so much. Because despite how intimidating they look, they're actually the most wholesome muscle heads ever. And there are still some other characters on the side that I failed to mention that you will eventually like too. Mob Psycho 100 is the kind of anime that you would grow with as the season progresses. It's a story about accepting oneself and trying your best to better your situation, and just being a good person is already enough. It's such a great growth-oriented anime. It's sad to see this series has already ended. I will always be grateful to One for making this masterpiece and Studio Bones for the ridiculously well-put production. Mob Psycho 100 is definitely a certified fire. Go ahead and watch it and don't sleep on this one. Thanks for watching.